me great pleasure to bring on board a very dear friend of mine, and more importantly, a very dear friend and a well-wisher of ETNA, Mr. Vijay Kedia of Kedia Securities. Good morning. So nice to have you back, Kedia ji.
Thank you very much, Nikunj, and happy 14th anniversary to you. May you go strength to strength, years to years, for hundreds of years.
So, good
luck and good wishes.
गाना हो जाए ETNA के बर्थडे पर.
अरे गाना मैंने लिख के दिया था आपको ETNA सुरेश का यार, उससे बढ़िया क्या हो सकता है?
आज ETNA का बर्थडे, स्वदेश का तो अक्टूबर में आएगा, वो दोबारा कर लेंगे.
No, for every why, where, and how, always log on to ET now. Okay.
You've given me a punchline now for my next advertising campaign.
And sorry, Nikunj, I am on vacation, so I don't have formal clothes, so please forgive me for this.
No, sir. It's you're looking evergreen in that t-shirt. So what's keeping you busy? Right now you're on vacation, but when you are not on vacation, what's keeping you busy?
No, investing is also like a vacation to me, Nikunj. Even if I'm in Bombay or wherever, stock market is always in my vein, in my blood stream, or everywhere in my breath. So that is also a vacation for me. So this is a vacation maybe for my wife, not for me, because my mind is always there into stock market, what is happening 24/7. So this is what market always keeps me busy. And when there is no market like Saturday and Sunday, so I really sometimes I feel depressed that I have got nothing to do in life. So far so good.
3 months, Mr. Kedia. Are you surprised with the pace of the market rally? It's been a one-way rally.
No, Nikunj bhai, I am not at all surprised. It was bound to happen. It should have happened 6 months back. All these economists and all these chartists and all these people just kept us in the dark कि ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा, ये डूब जाएगा, वो डूब जाएगा. अरे कोविड जैसा चीज हम लोगों ने देख लिया यार, उसके बाद में क्या डरने का भाई, उसके बाद में तो मेरे को आई एम नॉट एट ऑल सरप्राइज, एंड आई हैव सेड दिस थिंग वेरियस टाइम्स ऑन channels, you know, that the bull after 2003 bull market are becoming longer and bear markets are shorter. So same thing is again happening this time also. So I am not at all surprised.
You know, I think 5-6 years ago, you were the first one who started saying that Sensex will touch 1 lakh in a lifetime. And today, if I'm asking this question to other experts, they are saying, yes, it could happen in 3, 4 or 5 years. That is what only we are debating. What is your sense? Sensex in 1 lakh in 3 years, 4 years or 5 years?
So your memory is very sharp, Nikunj. And when I talk about index, the first thing, the actual, because I don't invest in any Nifty stock or any Sensex stocks and all. So when I talk about Sensex, that means I'm talking indirectly, I'm talking about my portfolio. So whether index doubles from here or not, that is a different issue. But I expect that this mid caps where I am investing, in the general mid cap category, good stocks should double or triple in next 2-3 years time. And so far index is concerned, I think that index is a counting of 21 is happening index, 21,000, 42,000, 63,000. And I think that next stop should be 84,000 in 2 years from now. And of course, 100,000 is just a destination, I think, and miles to go for index.
You know,
for the market.
When Vijay Kedia was investing in his 40s, he was essentially buying into small cap stocks. He was looking at identifying multi-bagger.
Now you don't count my age and 40 and 50 and
20 years ago or 15-20 years ago, when Vijay Kedia was investing, he always wanted to buy multi-bagger stocks which have potential to become 5x or 10x. Are you still investing with that same quest that you want to identify multi-baggers, or now that you are in seasoned investor, your portfolio also has become big, it's difficult to find those multi-baggers like Atul Auto or perhaps Sarah, which you got, let's say, a couple of years ago?
No, I don't think my style has changed. Whatever I have learned after between 2003 and 7, I'm just sticking to that idea or sticking to that philosophy. And that philosophy is described in my formula of SMILE. So I'm just following that only. And there is no change. Still, I'm getting all so many informations and so many tips and so many things and all. So I'm not doing anything. I am doing just what I like. And my all endeavor is just to find out some, find a multi-bagger or find a sunrise industry and invest in that company and sit for years without having any price target or any time target in my mind.
We've spoken about your investment philosophy, which is centered around SMILE. What is SMILE? Let's revisit it.
SMILE S stands for small in size. So I usually buy the smallest company in the sector. So that is why small inside does not mean that just micro cap or 400 or 500 crore market cap. It does not mean that. It could be 5,000 market cap also, but should be the smallest in the kitty. So that is small in size and medium in experience. I usually invest in the company where the management has an experience of more than 15 years, 15, 20 years. The idea behind is this: in 15, 20 years, the management must have fallen 2-3 times. They must have seen the scenario like COVID and Lehman Brothers and all those crises and recession and inflation and whatever and whatnot, and they have become very immune to all those. They can sail through that kind of situation. So that is why for 15, 20 years of experience is very important. And then L stands for large in markets, large in aspiration. Usually what happens when a small cap management migrates from a small cap to mid cap, they lose their what you call appetite, the fire in the belly. So that large in aspiration must be there, from regional to national, from national to international. That kind of inspiration should always be there. Otherwise, if management will not become a billionaire, we investor won't become a millionaire. And the last is extra size in market potential. So it should be like an ocean in the fish, not a crocodile in the pond. They should have miles to cover. So that is how I think that you can multiply your money in this market.
I have your declared portfolio, sir, in front of me. It's public information. We are discussing what is in the public domain. There is a company which you had bought 15 years ago and you've increased your stake again in that company, Atul Auto. I was looking at the numbers for April and May, and looks like the EV business is getting into some kind of a tizzy. Are you confident that a company like Atul Auto will be able to scale up in the EV space? Because EV space, Mr. Kedia, is dominated by the big boys, not small players.
You see, here I'm also a director in Atul Auto Limited, but here I'm talking about as an investor. So, but I think I must choose my words. I should use balanced words and all. As an investor, I am bullish. That is why I have taken the biggest bet in my life, that I have invested that kind of money in one single company, seed capital, one initial capital. So of course I am bullish. And so far as this three-wheelers must be, this electric, as we know, there is no debate that electric is the future. Sooner or later, all this diesel vehicle will be, wiped out from the market, maybe by 2025, and petrol might take 5 years or 10 years, maybe 15 years, we don't know. So ultimately, this alternative fuel that is called CNG and LPG and this electric will remain in the market. And what this Atul Auto is doing, I think they have done some few collaboration which is top of the world, according to me, in my biased opinion. I'm a shareholder in the company. Of course, my opinion could be biased. I feel this, of course, and currently they are through some bagged fees or bagged page. That is okay. That happens. That is good. That is learning curve. If company will go then just in a straight way, then you don't learn anything. So there is a quote of mine in investing also, that when you are right, you earn. When you are wrong, you learn. So that's a learning phase for Atul Auto. I am bullish, and that is the only bet, if I remember correctly, that is the only bet I have taken in electric. Maybe some small startups I have invested in, some 2 or 3 some small startups. But significant investment I have made, that is Atul Auto, and I am bullish. I may be wrong. You never know. This market, nobody knows.
So when you decide that you want to stay with that investment and ride the course versus when you want to sell and get out, what is the criteria which you put in? That, okay, I'm happy with this investment, I will ride the cycle. Or unhappy, my thesis has gone wrong, it is time for me to exit.
Oh, I tell you, there is a quote of mine: stay invested in a sunrise industry at any cost, and stay out of a sunset industry at any cost. So that is the more or less formula I am applying. And as I said earlier, that I do not have any price target, nor do I have any time target that I will sell. If this stock goes up 4 times or 5 times, I will sell. No, money does not lure me. And nor do I have any time target. Okay, when the bull market will get. Usually I invest, I have, invest. I show my investments at least to bull market. This is what my pattern says, that I've shown all my good investments to bull market. Okay, so that is maybe 10 years or 15 years, So I sell when I find that when the product must have become obsolete or the management must have lost their, then aspiration or inspiration to grow. I mean, when the growth plateaued, and that is the time that I may think about exiting the stock. Otherwise, and I have seen in my life that my stock has gone from say 50 rupees to 1,000 rupees, and from 1,000 rupees they have fallen back to 300 rupees. But I'm still holding on to them, so that doesn't disturb me.
You mentioned that you made one investment in electric vehicle. That's one size of opportunity or size of pond which you like. What are the other size of opportunity or where you think that there is going to be a big, massive, scale which could be at play? What else apart from electric vehicles you like?
If you remember, we had discussed on, I think, the budget EU, and I had come on your channel, and we had discussed about airlines stock. Okay, so I think that was the budget day. Yeah, so I like airline stock, and I have invested in that. I've invested in Indigo. That is again a disclosure and disclaimer. Of course, I'm not a consultant, so I don't recommend shares. This is what I have done just for the benefit of your viewers. So I've invested in Indigo, being the largest company and the most profitable company in airline sector. And I am bullish in airlines. I think what had never happened in maybe 20, 30 or 50 years in airlines industry should happen in next 5 years. This is, as on today, when I'm talking to you, I have this opinion. I may change my opinion after your show. I don't know about that. But as of now, I have this opinion that airlines is a sunrise industry. In spite of all those bad things and about bad cash flow and whatever negative, opinion of others.
Like that, because ultimately it's a brutal industry, and it's an industry where you cannot control the most important thing, which is the cost of oil.
So in every industry, you will have such kind of ifs and buts. The idea is this: there are only 3-4 airline companies left in India. And recently, again, that reference I had given this reference in your interview in budget day also. 5-7 days back also, I heard another interview from aviation minister, and they categorically they said that airlines industry is not under regulation. So I think that is the answer of your worries, that what will happen to this crude and all this fuel and all that. I think nobody knows. God also, I don't know whether he knows or she doesn't. She knows. I don't know about that. But ultimately, it will be passed through. Otherwise, be prepared to drive in a bullock cart or in a cycle and all, go from here to Bombay to Delhi in a cycle or walking. If you don't want your airlines industry to survive in India, then be ready for that.
Okay. There is another very old investment of yours, not sure if you have it or not, is Webhub Global. It was a bet on what will happen to the Indian export prowess and how they were able to get this entire COVID cycle right. But the stocks are, I think, is down 50-60% from its high. What gives you the conviction of still holding on to it? Because the numbers have been literally all over the place. A 40% growth has become a 14-15% growth.
No, it has not fallen 50%. It has fallen 70% from the top. And this was I was referring to this company only a few minutes back. That I bought at 50 rupees and it went up to 1,000 rupees, not back to 300 rupees. As I said, so far I'm convinced about the story. There is a quote of mine: chase the story behind the stock, not money on the table. Money will make you rich, but story will make you wealthy. So I may be wrong in this approach, I don't know, but it is working for me. So as long as the sun is rising in this company, in spite of all this problem, in spite of whatever 40% growth they have, it's life. Sometimes you fall sick, sometimes you catch cold, sometimes you have fever. That does not mean that life has come to an end. Okay, it's a process of life. It's a process of company. Companies also go through so many bad phase and good phase and all. And in spite of all these problems because of COVID, and of course, and due to recession in the US and UK, which are their main market, company had diversified into Germany. Unfortunately, Germany is also under recession. So I think maybe it will take some time, maybe 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. So I have patience here. So I don't mind as long as it's okay. As long as the product is not, as long as the concept of the company is not becoming obsolete, as long as what they are doing is not getting disrupted, I don't mind being invested in this company.
So, sir, we've chatted about Atul Auto, we've spoken about Indigo, we've spoken about Web of Gems or Web of Global. These are old ideas. What is the new gift or birthday gift for our viewers? It's a birthday today. Indigo, you said on the budget day, that is 3 months old. How about a new birthday gift?
I'm your gift, Nikunj.
अरे पर आप आए तो स्टॉक आइडिया भी तो दोगे दोस्ती भाईचारा ठीक है
No. As we discussed earlier, and this, I think it is in, as you said, that everything is in public domain. There is no hide and seek in my life. Whatever I do, and if it crosses 1%, automatically it comes into public domain. So I had bought Patel Engineering. That was some 3-4 months back. But please remember, I had bought at 15 rupees, 15. Now it is 30 rupees or 28, 29 or 30, whatever it is. So it is not at all a recommendation, but I think that capital good, this industry, like infrastructure, mainly this infrastructure industry, they are the new sunrise industry. What happened between 2003 and 8? You remember what happened to all these infrastructure companies? There were, 50 company, maybe 20, 30 listed companies and hundreds of unlisted companies. And that sector has totally gone through a consolidation phase, and hardly few companies are left in India. If you talk about any project above 2,000, 3,000 crore, which company can execute, only Larsen Toubro will come to your mind. But now this scenario is changing, and I think the time we had between 2003 and 7 so far, infrastructure companies concerned are coming again. This is another sunrise industry. And it is not only Patel Engineering. This is because there is some management issue. People have that thing in mind, some corporate governance issue. People have that thing in mind. So you should do your homework. But there are many companies. There are still 5-7 good companies listed in this sector. I think this should be a sunrise industry.
Very much. Now, before we wrap, and again, I'm just jogging my memory here. You've not bought too many banks, and the only bank which I think you bought was Karnataka Bank a couple of years ago. Why is that you don't buy banks? I mean, whether it's large cap or small cap, I hardly see your name in any of the NBFCs. Any reason why you avoided financials?
No, I had bought some banks. Of course, Karnataka Bank I had bought, and I failed miserably in that company. Although I personally made money in Karnataka Bank, but that is not the issue. The issue is this, that I bought and it was in a public domain, and the people who bought the shares could not exit. So that is a matter of worry for me. So that is why I must be very careful about what I speak and what I do, what I say, whatever. So far these banks are concerned, I had bought 2-3 banks last year, Canara Bank and Federal Bank and BOB and all. I sold because I have a weakness, Nikunj. I cannot hold on to the liquid stocks. Whenever I get some idea in mid cap, which are illiquid, so I would sell my liquid stocks and convert that money into mid cap illiquid stocks. So that is why I use them as a reserve. All these liquid stocks or A group stocks or future stocks or large caps and all. Usually I don't invest. I invest just for the short time to convert them into if a big idea I get to know. So but I exited, and as it is, their movement is very slow. 5 rupees up, 4 rupees down, 5 rupees up, 4 rupees down. I like the stock which goes 50 rupees up and 40 rupees down and 100 rupees up and 80 rupees down. I like such stocks. That gives me a thrill.
Okay. Appreciate your time, and you've been very generous with your time. You've been a great friend of the channel. You've always accommodated our interview requests. Doesn't matter if you've called you in the last minute also. And you've also joined us from your holidays. Where are you holidaying? I forgot to ask you this.
A neighboring country, Baju mein, idhar hi, Dubai.
And did you take an Indigo flight or Emirates flight? Now that you're shareholder of Indigo.
I took Emirates flight because Indigo flight was costly.
That's a customer, not the shareholder.
लेकिन customer है, लेकिन घर फूंक के तमाशा नहीं देखने का भाई जिंदगी के अंदर में.
All right, really a joy always to have you on ET Now. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Take care. Happy anniversary once again. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on and let's get you some multi-bagger ideas as well for the long term. And Purinju Veliath, remember, spoke about restaurant brands. Atul Suri was extremely bullish on ITC. Nilesh Shah told you as to how he likes Radico Khaitan. Saurabh Mukherjee and Pankaj Murarka are the stock ideas that we're going to bring for you up next.